Hello, I'm George from Ireland. Well, another Labour cabinet minister was caught lying a few days ago about his CV, claiming to belong to a profession that he never belonged to. And that is Jonathan Reynolds, when he claimed to be a solicitor. But of course, he has never been a solicitor. He did not qualify as a solicitor. Now, he was a trainee as a law firm, but you need to finish your traineeship. That has to be seen to be satisfactory, and then the person will be deemed to have qualified. So I think he did some law qualification, was a postgraduate diploma in law, but of course, someone is not a solicitor until he or she successfully completes that. The Solicitors Regulation Authority is investigating this because he has misrepresented his legal career. Remember, misrepresentation's got a particular legal meaning, and he's misled people, and it's very important. He's materially misled people on his CV and his public statements for years. And just remember, if you lie in your curriculum vitae and you get a job on the basis of this deceit, and that subsequently comes to light, you can be dismissed on the ground that the employer would not have hired you had he or she known that you, in fact, were not qualified as this, you didn't have the education qualification, you didn't work in that role, or you didn't work in that role for as long as you claim, blah, blah, blah. And if you're lying about that, what else are you lying about? So we know that he lies, and lies quite barefacedly about things which are easily verifiable, because you can check if someone really is a solicitor if he or she claims to be one. Incidentally, I'm not a solicitor or barrister, or I've never belonged to any legal profession. Anyway, so I'm not pretending that I am. And he's lied about it many times on his LinkedIn page, on his constituency website, because he represents Stalybridge and Hyde, on the Commons website. So on multiple occasions, he has lied about this. But lying is obviously absolutely okay by Sir Keir Starmer, who was going to restore public trust in the government by upholding the highest standards of integrity. Well, those have gone out the window as soon as Labour was ensconced in their cosy offices. So the Solicitors Regulation Authority, well, what can they do? Is he's not actually a member of their profession. They can't expel him. He can't lose something which he never had in the first instance. So it's all very worrying. And Jonathan Reynolds, he was. Well, is actually one of Labour's more polished media performers. He's highly effective, and so it would seem quite plausible that he's a solicitor, although of course he's not. And I don't doubt he could have qualified. So he's very good at savaging the Conservative Unionist Party, at expostulating the Labour case, and so on. He has that equipoise, that glib, suave manner. Yeah, he's a great communicator. But I don't think it's actually do his career much harm, because Labour is very much like cock-waddling liars, just like the Conservative Party, Boris Johnson. Yeah, don't think impliedly I'm like exonerating the Conservative Party. I'm absolutely not. Yeah. So it's clear that he has lied many, many times of this. And some people say, well, that's actually a criminal offence to lie about this, to pretend to be a member of the profession when you're not and never ever have been. Now, Sir Keir Starmer was Director of Public Prosecution, so he's aware of this. And Sir Keir Starmer obviously thinks it's entirely acceptable lying to the public about something important on multiple occasions. People will have voted for him partly because they believed he was a solicitor. People will have trusted him partly because they believe he's a solicitor, and solicitors are people of the highest integrity. Because if they're caught lying in any remotely important way, they can be struck off instantly. I mean, not lying in their personal lives about infidelity or something like that, but any pecuniary matter, that would be it. Any criminal matter, anything to do with work, telling your client you filed a document when you haven't. There was a very newly qualified solicitor who was almost struck off for lying in an email about that, because public trust matters in them. So he's the business secretary, and this wouldn't be permissible in any other walk of life. Why on earth should it be permitted in politics, when surely the highest standards should be expected of them according to the Nolan principles in public life? And he's blatantly breached those. So will another cabinet minister be dismissed? I don't think they will, actually. We know that Rachel Reeves, a very big beast of the Labour Party, she's in there despite lying on many occasions, well, for years, about the roles she held and how long she held them for. I mean, Louise Hay, for a minor criminal offence, But I think Jonathan Reynolds is probably safe at the moment. But more the pity. But it's very telling that Labour thinks this is okay, and the Prime Minister is really ratifying these lies by keeping him there. It gets worse. Now Reynolds is claiming that he never said that he was a solicitor. So he's lying about lying even more. Wow, wow. So, the cover up worked worse than the original crime, of course. But there we go, and otherwise he's actually quite a good big future in Labour, as I say, because he's an excellent orator and he interviews very well. He's self-assured, says just enough, says it in the right language. He just comes across as intelligent, but he doesn't bamboozle the public, doesn't make them feel stupid by using too many sesquipedalian words. And yeah, he could go a lot further, but this will hamper him a little bit in a few years. Well, thank you for watching my channel. Make sure you subscribe on Patreon, donate to PayPal, georgecallahan79@gmail.com. Toodaloo.